We, each one of us, and all of us together, are called and empowered to make a difference on this planet, to have an impact, to make this a better place. All of us. We've been given that gift by God. Or the way that it's put in the scripture today, you are the light of the world. You, Milo, Mr. Schindler, Mrs. Goddard, you are the light of the world. Now that's a pretty audacious statement. I mean, do you believe this? Because that's where it starts. Do you believe? We can't do the right things. We can't be the people that God has called and empowered us to be if we don't believe the right things. Now that might seem like a weird thing to say, because making the world a better place, making a difference, having an impact, those are doing, right? They're not what's up here, they're what we do with our hands and our voices and our feet. But the thing is, if we don't believe the right things, it's really hard to do the right things. Now granted, sometimes people will do the good thing for the wrong reason. I'm sure that every university building that's named after somebody is not because that person was so amazingly generous and devoted to education. I'm sure some of those people just wanted to see their name on a building. And sometimes all of us do things to impress other people or to look good. But generally speaking, it's tough to consistently do the right thing if you don't believe the right things. Today I want to talk about some basic beliefs that we share that are the foundation of how we then go and make a difference in the world. And it starts with Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And I'd say, well, what difference does that belief make? Well, I'll tell you. If you don't believe that the world is created by a good God, if you don't believe that God is at work redeeming things, if you don't believe that this all has a purpose and a meaning, it's tough to be encouraged about anything. If there isn't a good God behind all this, it's really easy to be discouraged, to say, look at the world, look at how bad it is, look at how evil everything is, look at how terrible people are. But if we are reassured that this still is God's good earth, that God still is in control, or that, as we will sing a little bit later, that though the wrong seems oft so strong, God is the ruler yet. And when we remember that that's true, that's a very empowering belief. That changes the way that we approach the world. It changes what we do and how we live. And see, and tied in with that is a very important belief in the second lesson today, that sin is real. And that sin affects all of us. And that might sound like bad news, but the thing is really, it's good news, because it explains why, if God still is in control, there's so much that seems out of control. Because there really is something wrong with the world. Or more fundamentally, there is something wrong with us. There is something wrong with me. There is. There's something profoundly wrong with me. But here's the good part. God is light. God is forgiveness. God takes that brokenness and changes it. And when we believe that, knowing ourselves as we know ourselves, knowing all our imperfections, that God takes that, forgives it, reshapes us, and then sends us out in the world to do good. Do you believe that? Do you believe that no matter what is in your past, God forgives and God moves on and God moves us on? So that it's really true that you are the light of the world. It's really true that that is the primary way that God's message and God's love and God's purpose comes into this world. And the thing is, see, if you believe that, it becomes true. If we don't believe it, if we say, there's nothing we can do, the world's going to heck in a handbasket, can't do anything about it, well, that might be true too. As good old Henry Ford used to say, if you believe you can, or if you believe you can't, you're right. When we believe these fundamental things about who God is, about who we are, about the way that God works, it empowers us to go out into this world. It empowers us to change ourselves and to change reality. You are the light of the world. Let your light so shine before others that they will see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. Thanks be to God.